the nod is given to the warden, and he's on the phone with the governor's office, and he give you the nod. Yeah. Let's go on with the execution. Then the button is pushed.
Jerry Givens pushed that button perhaps more times than anyone else, presiding over 62 executions in the Commonwealth of Virginia. In a turn, today he opposes capital punishment, thanks to his own eventual doubts about a process he came to know with such intimacy.
Once you have execution is a smell down there from burning flesh. And if you have a mustache, a hair features, in your nose, you can smell it. So you have to try to wash yourself real good, trying to get there. And it might be psychological, but you can still smell that, greasy smell.
Givens' 17 years as Virginia's executioner began October 12, 1984, with the electrocution of Linwood Briley, one of 3 brothers who were part of a gang that killed at least 11 people.
He told Reverend Brown that he wanted to be baptized, and we took him upstairs and we had prayer, and the guys sung a little song or something, and they baptized him.
You sat there and prayed with him,
yeah,
knowing you were about to kill him.
Yeah, but well, not just me, the state of Virginia was going to kill him.
Understood, but you're the man who had to press the button.
Yes, right.
Was that hard that first time?
In a sense it was, and if I would sit here and tell you it wasn't hard, I'd be lying to you, and I'm not going to do that. Yeah, it was hard. I mean, this man haven't done anything to me, it's not that I'm getting revenge on him, I'm just doing what the state of Virginia wanted to do, carry out this execution.
Did you have reservations about doing this job, or you thought justice is being done and I'm playing my part?
I thought justice was being done. If you're an executioner and you're enjoying what you're doing, you shouldn't be in that position. You got to say, well, if this guy hadn't went out and committed these crimes, then he wouldn't put himself in this position. If the jury or the judge hadn't found him guilty for these crimes, he wouldn't be here. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So you take all this into consideration and take some of that blame off self, you understand, and spread it out.
As you were talking, the clock went off, and it made me think about, at least in the movies, the clock goes off, it's midnight, and that dramatic moment happens.
Yeah.
Were there real life moments like that?
During the course of the day, and he's thinking that he still have a chance with the Fourth Circuit. You get what I'm saying? So he don't really know. So he's not anticipating it at 4 o'clock.
Still hoping.
Yeah, he's still hoping, because there's still some hope left. You understand? But it's little, but it's some hope. And after he eats his last meal and his head is shaved, I think then is when it actually kicked in, about 7 o'clock. And I can see that. I can see that in him.
Givens' switch from executioner to death penalty critic springs in part from the case of Earl Washington, who was sentenced to death in 1984, but eventually pardoned based on DNA evidence.
I would have executed him.
It would have been you?
Yeah. If that killer was still out there and then I took an innocent life, I'm in the same boat, predicament this guy's in. He took an innocent life. I just took an innocent life. Yeah. Wouldn't make me any greater.
You didn't want to press the button for the wrong guy.
Yeah.
It was a bit more complicated than that, though. Givens' real distrust for the justice system came when he found himself behind bars for money laundering. Givens maintains his innocence. But he says if he had to do it over again, he never would have taken the job as Virginia's executioner.
You hear people make a statement, I kill him myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was in Fresno, and I asked a question about how many people believe in the death penalty. Yeah. Several people stood up. I said, how many people will actually execute somebody? Nobody stand up.
Really?
Yeah. So people want it done, but they want somebody else to do it.
And you have to be that guy.
Yeah.